Welcome and good morning. Thanks for joining me for this week's episode of Move to Improve with Tina Fraley. During this 8-week program, Tina is sharing her wisdom, her strength, her knowledge, her encouragement with us. Every week, she's working to help us improve our fitness and our well-being. So, Tina, you're here today to join us to discuss the patterns, distraction, and excuses that sometimes hold us back. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking it doesn't really matter if we're talking about eating healthfully or exercising. We're just really living authentically, doing what we say we're going to do. If you can identify those habits that keep you from fulfilling your potential, if you just identify them, you're well on your way to success, right?
Absolutely, yes. It is a universal pattern. A habit is a pattern, and how we choose to make it or break it is really where we start to meet or put ourselves between the goal that we're headed towards. So absolutely.
Great. Well, I am really looking forward to today's presentation, and I'm going to, and we're not going to be sharing, I'm not sharing any photos or anything.
Nope, not today.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on large so I can see you. All right. And do we need any equipment for today's workout?
If you want to kind of follow along, I'm going to write everything up on the board, but if you have paper and pen in front of you, you can absolutely do this little model with me.
Okay.
And kind of give yourself the option to come back through and repeat it.
Okay.
My deal is I try to keep everything as simple as possible. So even if you don't have like paper, pen, and crayons and such, you can kind of do this stuff mentally as you practice it. The eat, move, believe philosophy stem from that same desire and need for the necessity of simple. And so what this also then will parallel, it's called be, do, have. Sometimes you'll hear it called be, do, have, and give. What I'm going to focus on today is be, do, and have. So we take any goal, just like you said, it doesn't have to be specifically a nutrition or an exercise goal. It can be a career goal, it can be a relationship goal, it can be a spiritual goal, it can be a financial goal, anything that you're really just choosing to go, this is the thing that I want in my life. And sometimes, as we've seen through a great many of the weeks where we've been together, sometimes just identifying that is the stumbling block, where you're just kind of going through the motions of life and all of a sudden you're like, man, something's just missing. And you take that time and that presence to pause and go, wait a minute, like, what is it that's not filling my cup right now? Where is the balance or imbalance not really working for me?
Can I ask you a quick question there?
Absolutely.
So in the past couple of weeks, at different times, you've mentioned meditation.
Yep.
And that is something that I'm not sure I want in my life, but I think I should want in my life. So how do you distinguish between what you want and what you're told you should have?
So that's a really awesome question. And I don't think there's a direct one specific answer, but let me do my best to attend to each component of it.
I didn't know who else I could ask that question to.
I feel honored. And so meditation, I've always been told that meditation isn't the practice of constantly being still. It's the practice of being present. So it's not meditation like you're going over and over in your head with one word mantra. There's different styles of it, but the actual practice of meditation is just meant to bring you back into your present moment. And you will have moments where you sit down and you go through the routines and you're feeling your brain kind of do that monkey circus act where it's creating the laundry list and where do I need to get who to practice and all of the other things. But you're going and consciously bringing yourself back, going, I'm here, I'm still, I'm present, I'm feeling, I'm here in my moment. So that's what the meditation piece is. As far as do you need it? Is it something you should add and practice? My opinion, yes, but it's not always just because it's what everyone says. It's your style of meditation, focus, and presence. And that could be you sitting on the deck with your coffee, just looking out at the pond.
I like that.
Right. That's your style of showing up for you. And the more we're able to do that, in my opinion, the more meditative practices actually become a part of our everyday events without that have to, should kind of mentality.
Right.
Answer it.
Yeah, I appreciate that because, you know, I actually was so moved by that idea of the monthly your rock thing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my husband about that. That was a week or two ago that you talked about that. And he said, "Are you going to do it?" I said, "Well, I have to make sure that I really want to do it. And I just don't want to do it because Tina said it. The way you explained it, I was like, I'm doing that." And then I got off. I thought, my husband actually said, "You sitting anywhere and being quiet for an hour, that's not going to happen." So anyhow, you don't know me, Mary, but it's really hard for me to be quiet.
Oh. I have something to add about meditation.
Sure.
I have actually been adding meditation to my life more recently. I've had issues with anxiety, and I still do, but I guess how I meditate is I try to concentrate on my breathing and just and like you're talking about the the racing and spaghetti thoughts, and I forget what the exact word you used was, but I will be like, oh, I got to do this, or oh, such and such is going to happen, and then that's going to happen, and oh gosh, this is going to be horrible, and and then it snowballs into this catastrophe, and it's like, no, you right now, you are sitting in your chair, you are in your house, you are safe, and it is okay. Take a deep breath. Okay, now take another deep breath. Just be here right now, and it may be 10 minutes that I take, it may be a little bit less, and then it's like, okay, now what's one thing I can get up and do that will help move forward? And and it's just a matter of, for me, kind of recentering so that I'm not all crazy going, ADHD and anxiety and kind of, like the dishes are piled up, the laundry's piled up, and everything, my mess over here, and it's and just where I get too overwhelmed, I just kind of recenter and try to find one thing that I can do after I'm calm down for a minute. And just,
that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that.
I love how you put that. The word I kept hearing as you were describing what you were giving yourself the option to experience was anchor. You were anchoring yourself back down. And that the practice of meditation, that's what the result is it anchors us, it grounds us, and it actually pulls us back into our power spot. When I do different styles of movement exercises, I always talk about move from your perspective of power, identifying that. So you pulling yourself back into that still moment and feeling the chair, hearing what is around you in that room. That's you pulling yourself right back into the space where you can then make that choice, like you indicated. What's the one thing I can do from here? It's breaking it back down so that spaghetti mind, I love that phrase. I'm going to use that forever and ever. That was perfect analogy. It's true. When you just pull all of that back in and you just sit with it, that's your most powerful position in life to be in, is with yourself. When the spaghetti brain's going all around us, you're disconnected and you've actually taken and robbed yourself from your most powerful position to be in. So
yeah, and I was going to say to Mary, I had never heard that expression, spaghetti brain, but I liked it too, because it's not just lots of thoughts, it's tangled thoughts, and they're getting all mixed up together. And so when you said that, I don't think you said that, Tina, but when she said it, I was like, God, I like that. Yeah.
Very well articulated.
Well, I don't know if I ever said it before or not, but there is a book out called Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti. And it's a communication thing. Men are in their little boxes, and then women travel all over the plate with their thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, that's like the meme they have out there, how we shop in Target. Men go straight to it and leave, and we're like, oh.
That's fun.
All right, meditate in the middle of Target. We can get that there too.
Yeah.
Very net, though. I love that. All right.
Okay, Tina, sorry to interrupt your flow, but that was a great conversation.
So where we could go with that, once we've identified that one goal, and for today's purposes, I'm going to go with just, I want more movement in my life, and I'm going to specify it and go, I want more physical movement. So we're picking a goal and then we're making it specific, because I can tell you I want more movement in my life, but what does that really mean? Do I want movement in my bank account? Do I want movement in my relationship? Do I want movement with my work? Am I feeling stagnant there? I want physical movement on a daily basis as my goal. So we start essentially just marking that as our goal. So physical movement for me is going to mean that exercise. So now that I have my goal and I've identified, like, this is what I want more of in my life, what you then are able to do is have this 3-step process of be, do, and have, which I have in parentheses, feel, because when you have it, you also feel it. The first piece of this is that be step. And you're asking, who must I be in order to have exercise be something in my life? Who am I and what is important to me in regards to this goal? So, I mean, we can go back and forth and kind of throw things out there, but if this was your goal, what would you have to be on a daily basis to have exercise actually be a part of your day-to-day life? What are some of those things that you would have to be in your life in order for exercise to fit as a goal? Anything come to mind?
Active.
Active. Okay. So let me see how I'm not going to put my back to you. There we go.
That's good.
All right. So we need to be active. What else might we need to be?
I think maybe if you're looking to do it on a regular basis, maybe committed or disciplined.
Okay, I'm going to throw in consistent because I thought that's where you were headed with that, but committed works really well too. What else might you have to be? I want to have at least 4 options for each of these.
Maybe creative.
Ooh, I like that one. All
You
right.
know, so that you can mix it up and you don't feel stuck.
Yes. All right. So then we've filled that first category. We've identified that exercise is a thing we want to have in our life as a goal. We've looked at the category of how do I got to show up to my life? What do I have to be on a daily basis for exercise to make sense? Active, committed, consistent, creative is what we just chose. Now we go to that second category of do. What must I do in my life? What are the action steps that would make exercise fit in my life as a goal I'm working toward? What are the literal things that I'm going to do? And we'll just throw those out. What do I need to do to move forward towards this goal? What's the first thing you can think of? And sometimes it's as obvious as it feels like, and that's okay.
So, Mary, you want to go first?
For me, I would say find a class.
Okay.
Because I don't know the exercises to do.
Okay. So find a class, find an instructor. Okay.
And I put set time aside.
Set time. Schedule it. Okay. Let me have 2 more.
Maybe be flexible, because even though you schedule it, if I find sometimes if I say I'm going to do something and it doesn't work out, then I go, I'm just not doing that today. But if I give myself permission to be flexible, then it's like, okay, it didn't work out here, but it doesn't mean I've screwed up the whole day.
Okay, so you are going to be flexible.
Oh, that needs to be over there. Yeah.
Giving yourself permission.
Okay.
And it's common that when we come through this little exercise, the do and the be seem like they overlap in a lot of ways, but they're very, the split difference of them is what's going to help us to build that momentum. So we're going to be flexible, which is an excellent one for this, by giving ourselves permission. We're going to go to the next one now. That last category, that have, so that I can have, or so that I can feel. What are the results? What are the outcomes if I reach my goal and achieve my goal of having more exercise in my life? What are the results and outcomes going to look like? What are some of them just off the top of your head that you can think of?
I would maybe say sense of pride.
Okay, so I'm
proud of myself.
gonna have and feel pride. Mary, what about you? What will you have or feel if you add exercise as the goal?
Well, I've got two, feel healthier and also have more endurance.
Okay, nice ones. Give me one more just so we can play the game all the way. I'm going to say a healthy heart. So good, specifically heart health.
That's good.
All right, so now this is my favorite part to keeping it simple. If we've been following along with all of the different exercises for our brain that we've been doing through this series, you'll see that each piece kind of fills in itself in the front and the back. So you can use these steps forward and backwards, so you always have a position to move from, because that's one of the most common, I'm going to sit back down now. That's one of the common stumbling blocks, is we just don't feel like we have the room or the capacity to move. We pick a goal and then it's like, oh my God, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to actually be able to pull off and have that take place. So keeping the steps simple and down to the levels of 3, it makes it so you can really see it. When you look at the board now, you've broken your goal of exercise. We've broken it up into 3 simple steps that we can do forward and back. So what I mean by that, we broke it up into the B category. We want exercise, and in order to have exercise congruently fit in our life, we have to be an active person on a day-to-day basis. Not a judgment call, not a 10 minutes of active versus a 90 minutes in active. We just have to be active, whatever that looks like in our individual life. We have to be committed, consistent, creative, flexible. Then we have to do the things that allow an active, committed, consistent, creative, and flexible version of ourselves to show up. We're going to take the things we're being on a daily basis, and we're going to go be them in these places when we find a class, when we set that time aside for ourselves, when we give ourselves permission to do these things. And then because we are being this and showing up on a daily basis, and we are doing these things on a daily basis consistently, now we're going to feel that pride and that health and that endurance, and specifically for me, heart health. All of that works symbiotically. So that means that at any point, because a lot of times we'll kind of gather that momentum. You've had that moment where you start the diet and you start the program and you get like 3 weeks in and it's like, oh, I don't know what to do again. You feel like you're kind of starting over. Well, now, if your goal was exercise and you're feeling a little bit of pride because you're 3 weeks in, but you're in a stuck point again, now you can reverse engineer the process. Well, I want healthy and endurance and heart health. I got to go back and look at what I needed to do. I need to go to my class. Am I scheduling time? Am I giving myself permission? And then once I have that, I go back over. Being active on a daily basis. Am I being committed? Am I showing up consistently? Am I being creative? Am I being flexible? So each piece of them actually reflect the solution of the other answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so now you can literally do this for any goal that you have. And then what I had mentioned at the beginning, a lot of times this model is also described as be, do, have, give. When these are the types of behaviors that you increase in your life, when you've chosen that goal and you've created the habits of behavior that give you more life on a daily basis, then you also have given yourself the opportunity to give more of your life to the community around you, to the connection of people in your community. And you actually get to help them. We talked on this last week a little bit about shining that light on the path. When we're not stumbling over how do I do my life, then we're in a position to be able to help other people do their life just as effectively as we are on a daily basis. So you might be able to sit down with someone, even as little, I do this even with my little ones, like my 10-year-old. I can sit down with her and go, well, you're having a toxic relationship with a friend. That's not the wording, but she's having a struggle point at school. Well, let's look at that. What kind of relationship do you want? Well, now we have a goal. So now I can fill that in here and change the goal. And then what does she want? If her goal is a positive support group, like all of us want, what do I need to be to attract and have a positive support group? Well, I need to be creative, and I need to be positive, and I need to be connecting and vulnerable. Well, then what do I need to do? I need to network. I need to look on Eventbrite for programs like this. I need to put myself in a position where I can be in that support group for myself and others.
And give yourself permission to,
Yes.
yeah, give yourself permission to feel that out, find it out.
And then when you do that, then you feel confident. Then you feel loved. Then you feel supported. And again, it reverse engineers itself. So if you find yourself in that position at the end of your goal and you're not really feeling the congruency again, you can kind of scratch your head and play it back out on the table. Well, I feel supported, but something feels off. And then I can go back through. Did I go to my networking meeting? Did I go to the girls group? Did I show up for the class? Well, if I didn't, then I know that's why I'm not feeling some of the other things. If I didn't, then I know I'm not being what I committed to being that day. So it ebbs and flows, and no matter, there's no judgment in this at all. It's literally a place of empowerment and acknowledgement and permission and allowing. And in a lot of ways, it's a surrendering to being who you are more effectively. Any questions with this at all?
Yeah, so as we were going through this, I was doing the be, do, and have, but I was looking at meditation.
Okay.
So, I wrote, what do I have to be? I have to be still, or at least aware is what I told myself.
Okay, I like that flipping of the narrative there.
Because the whole still thing doesn't really work for me. I have to be committed though. Like if this is and I put in parentheses, at least for a while, because I really don't know if this is going to be good for me, but I want to be open to trying it because I've read so much about the positive benefits of that. And then when Mary was talking about that, she inspired me. So that's the other thing I put is in relationship with others who are doing the same thing, because that support helps me. So I also said creative and flexible. So a lot of it was the same as exercise, which was your point, that these things can be for any goal.
Absolutely.
For the do, I said set time aside or schedule, and then also give myself permission. And then the last one, how would I feel? I would feel a sense of pride if I set this and did it, and then I would feel calmer. And that would be great. Yeah, I think part of the reason I want this in my life right now is I feel a little pulled. My children need me. My father-in-law is struggling. He needs me. Just pulled in lots of different directions. So listening to you, Tina, and having Mary chip in, it's been very encouraging and empowering.
Awesome. So I also heard you actually claim your why, and that's an important empowering piece to any process that we go through. Having a goal is well and wonderful, and there's so many that we can bring to our lives. But if we don't know why we're doing this stuff, if we don't know why it's important to us, it doesn't give us the full momentum to show up to the goal.
So my why, what was my why? What did I say?
You said you felt pulled. In all these
right. So the why is to
anchor.
Right.
And
yeah, I don't think I ever heard you use the word anchor before, but we used to have an old rowboat and we used to swim off of it, and we'd throw that anchor down so that boat wouldn't go anywhere. We could swim out in the deep water, but we could always get back to it. So when you said that, that was the visualization that I had.
When we truly step into our presence and our power, we are our own anchor. Yes, we need people, we need that connection, we need that community, but we also need to acknowledge and celebrate the fact that we can show up to our lives, and at any moment, no matter how big that tidal wave of angst and just whatnot's coming at us, we can drop anchor right where we're at. We can say to ourselves all of the things we need to hear that a lot of times we're trying to push out and wait for someone to tell us, hey, you're okay. Hey, it's all right. Hey, you're fine. It's okay for us to say that to us and to step into that same power, that reflective tool. We can drop anchor and we can just hold there for a moment and go, I am okay. I am here. I am alive and powerful and resilient, and
I think
will survive.
I am enough,
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. Yes. Those mantras, those affirmations, we need to be telling ourselves that information just as much as we need to be having it out there in the world for the people around us, for our sisters and our daughters and all of our loved ones. Absolutely. Yes. Good point. So this is the exercise. We exercised our brain. We made it something that's simple. We can take it for any goal that we want, anything that we're striving for. And it works for quote unquote bad habits too. If you don't want, say, junk food in the house, like if that's your goal, let's flip it in the opposite direction and pick a habit we don't want. I'll pick junk food for this one. But what must we be in order for us not to have junk food in the house?
Better shoppers.
All right, absolutely, better
Yeah.
shoppers. So more aware.
Right.
We have to be aware. What must we do if we don't want junk food in the house? Trick question.
Learn what's healthy to eat.
Okay.
Clear out our cabinets.
Okay. Yep. And then if we have no junk food in the house, because that was our goal, what will we feel? What will we have?
I think you'd feel healthier.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing how all of the habits, no matter what they are, they're all one big, amazing, giant circle. You just got to choose which direction you're trying to turn your clock in. If you want more health, you dial it in this direction. If you want more food to happen in a healthier direction, you dial it in this direction. You're in control of every single thing you choose to show up to in your life. These are just baby steps to get you there. And to
Yeah, and I wanted to share this analogy out of this book called You Are Not Your Brain. They talk about how the brain creates habits and pathways. And basically, the analogy is if you walk through the woods, the same trail every single day, you get this super clear, defined, easily followed trail. And if it's a bad trail for you, it's much easier to walk that same food over and over again than to have a different path through the woods to a different set of food. And the interesting thing about that was that in creating a new trail, it requires a lot more brain energy. You create new neuronal connections. So not only are you ending up in a better place, you're actually strengthening the brain. And for women in our prime, you know, we're really all about increasing our physical, mental, and spiritual health. And so I loved that you can create a new pathway. It takes extra energy. You actually burn calories just coming up with different strategies to be healthier. So anyhow, I love that.
I love that. We all should be having that piece of cardio.
Right.
I can think myself to a healthier body. Yes, sign me up. But I mean, that's essentially what we're doing. Every time we take moments like this, we're creating new pathways right now. Have you ever looked at something from this perspective ever before today? So we're burning
No.
calories right now because we're having
Yeah.
a big difference. So we're going to mark that down on our calendar of I did it list.
And Tina, I wanted to make sure I give you a chance to talk about the Powerhouse Studio, because that is something that you offer that people can participate in virtually. And I know you have some exercises for us, but if you could take just a few minutes to talk about the Powerhouse Studio. I did put it in my last Facebook post with the link. So if anybody's interested after you describe it, and I think everybody will be interested, but I wanted to give you a chance to talk a little bit about it before we do the exercises.
Thank you. No, I definitely appreciate that. So Powerhouse Studios it's a virtual gym and wellness workshop. It's completely online. The exercises are done by myself and 4 other trainers. And then we have 2 nutritionists, and then we have a certified nutrition coach. So we have the exercise component, we have the nutrition component, and then I'm a counselor, and 2 of the other women that are coaching are also certified health coaches. So we have the full gamut: your mind, your body, your life, your nutrition, all of it. And then on a monthly basis, we have a different focal point. So last month, our focus was on financial well-being, and we brought in a financial coach that she did weekly workshops with us and went through Dave Ramsey's baby steps to financial freedom. This month, we're focusing on rebooting your routines. So there's no specific diet to follow. There's no specific exercise regimen to follow. It's you showing up for you, and we're helping to support you create the community of like-minded souls seeking to have more well-being on a daily basis. And then I love the concept that we don't really grow old, we grow young. So I reconnect us with recess. I look for field trips. Each month we have a different variation of them. This month we have 2 guided hikes with Carissa Hip from Girls Who Hike Maryland chapter. We have a sunrise or a sunset hike, and then a morning hike. And then I connected with a local kick house group in Frederick County, and they're doing private instruction for cardio kickboxing. Every month we try and bring in a new style of movement so that you don't have that stagnant thing come in where you're like, oh, I'm so bored with what I'm doing. So we have cardio yoga as a new move this month, in addition to the cardio kickboxing. And then one of our trainers, Zach Prather, does strength and power conditioning. And next month we have a mobility clinic is going to be the focus. So you're learning how to specifically put more mobility and flexibility in your body. So it's more of a precursor type of movement so that we decrease injury and can increase your ability to move and be flexible.
So Tina, talk a little bit about if there is a fee to join, and also if there's a fee for the field trip, so people have all the information they need.
Absolutely. So it's a monthly membership. You come as you are and stay as long as you choose. It's $25 per month that you stay, and everything is included in that. All of the workshops are included. All of the field trips are included. All of the guided coaching is included in that for that $25 fee. And it is not something that you are constantly coming back and having to do unless it's something you choose to stay in the group in.
You sign up each month. It's not an ongoing fee that's billed to your credit card.
Absolutely. So it truly, the flexibility is built into the system of movement. The focus of the group is to support you and your goals and where you want to take them. And in the process, you're sharing that eat, move, believe philosophy that I touched on at the beginning of today. That's what the focal point is every day. You're showing us anything that you're eating, just so that you can see this is what the nutrition looks like on a daily basis all across the world. You're showing us a movement you're doing. It could be a picture of your sneakers. It could be a picture outside when you're on your walk. It could be a picture of you literally doing the sparkle thing from your exercise. And then you're sharing the belief. That's something you're grateful for every day. I practice gratitude, and it's something I believe actually heightens our health and allows us to be more consistent in the other pieces of life. Because when you start your day with gratitude, when you end your day with gratitude, you're bringing more of it into your sense of self on a daily basis. And then being able to see that in a community, when you're scrolling through your pages and you're seeing all of these amazing, incredible people see that they have something to be grateful for that day. And sometimes it's something as simple as I woke up, that it's that varied on the spectrum. And then there's other days where it's women and men showing, I'm grateful I got to have a conversation because I got off work early and I got to come home and see my daughter. So it's those intricacies and really focusing in on you living your life right where you are at. No judgment, no self-imposed, just stuck points. It's freeing and allowing you to show up and be who you want to be in your life. And
Tina, I just wanted to provide a little feedback. Mary, you don't know this, but I do a weekly hike. It's called A Year of Hike, 52 weeks, 52 women, same trail. And I actually had somebody who's part of your Powerhouse Studio hike with me a couple of weeks ago. And one of the things she really, really liked is that she felt, because there was no judgment, she was free to make progress because nobody was tracking her. And I just thought that was a beautiful description of what a benefit was. I'm not even sure if she shared that with you, but that was one of my takeaways on that hike. You know, we're free to move forward, especially if we don't feel a sense of judgment that somebody's watching us and saying you're not doing it right. So anyhow, I just wanted to share that because for me, that's a big part of what Prime Time for Women's Connection is all about too. And to hear her say that she got that through Powerhouse Studio, I just wanted to make sure I shared that with you.
Thank you very much. That is very, very meaningful to me. And it's the case in point. I started all of this because I needed a safe space in my own life to grow.
Right.
I felt that if I was feeling that way, if I was having these thoughts, I couldn't be the only one. And the more I started to connect with the women around me and the more I started to reach out, I saw that messaging was the same. We just need to have permission. And sometimes we need that girl beside us. We need that friend to link arms with us and go, hey, I can do this. You can do this too. Let's try.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So Mary, before we do the exercise, I wanted to give you a chance to make a comment or put a question to Tina.
Oh, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
I'm enjoying the class.
Great. Well, Tina, do we need any exercise equipment today?
Today it's going to be just body weight, so just our beautiful selves and a
Okay.
move it. I will relocate the board and us. We are going to come into our magic number. I love picking magic numbers for those of you that get to see this later too. We're going to go magic number 15 today. So everything's going to be nice and tall and neutral in our stance. We've got feet hip distance apart. We're going to start with a nice easy warm up. An inchworm is what it's called. You're dropping down into your squat and then you're rolling and walking yourself out into plank position and then walking the hands right back to the feet and rising back up to the top of the room. We're going to do that just to get the body moving, the blood flowing. The warm up actually helps to get our brain focused on the direction that we're sending the body. So you're building that connection right now as you move through and begin this warm up. We're going to continue to do 3 more of these for a total of 5. Nice and easy. You're holding where you need to. You're putting length and strength where you're feeling it. Here's my 4th one. If you're in time with me, and it's okay to go slower. It's okay to hang out in either one of those 2 holds, breathing. 1 more. We're going to walk out. Nice strong plank. Walking back with the hands, landing the heels, and rising back up to the top. I'm going to make sure my feet are still hip distance apart. I'm going to extend my hands out to the side, and we're going to just circle forward, nice and easy. We're getting mobility going in through the shoulders. Nice, smooth breath, fill up those lungs. We're going to reverse it in 3, 2, 1. Big circles backwards. Nice and strong and steady. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to open the legs nice and wide. The toes are going to track forward, knees, shoulders, and everything. And I just want you to drop the hip to the left and hold and stretch. We're gonna take a nice inhale and then pull up through the center to the other side. So we're just going right and left, side lunges, back and forth, grabbing that stretch through the legs. 2 more in each direction. Going as low as your range of motion allows for. 1 more in the other direction. 1 more, pull back. We'll meet back up tall in the center. All right, we're going to start to put a little more speed into our movement, so just a nice light jog. We're going to breathe in, get all those lungs filled up, get our mind and posture engaged and tall. Our first movement we're going to come through is just box squats. So we're coming in neutral in stance. Take that nice deep breath one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're neutral, hip distance apart. Hands are in front. I'm dropping down through that squat for 15, 14, your pace, your range of motion. You're making sure that your knees are tracking over your toes. You're squeezing the glutes to bring you back up. You're driving through the heels. I believe we have 7 left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come all the way down into that inchworm again. Walk our way out. We're going to drop to the knee for modified plank positioning. And you've got 15 push-ups, your range, your speed, intensity, and pace. Breathing through. There's 7 on my end. 14 and 15 if you're in time with me. Take the knees back up, walk the hands back to the toes, rise back up and tall. We're going to come into a reverse lunge. So I'm going to go to the side. I'm going to start with my right leg. We're going to alternate the legs, back and rise, left leg, back and rise. There's 1, left and right is our 1. Here's 2. Hands just flow nice and steady by our sides. You're looking to keep your hip and your shoulder in line as you pull that leg back behind you. That knee is tracking over the ankle on the front side.
Are you touching your knee down?
Not all the way.
Okay.
You can if you have that range of motion, absolutely. Are you touching your knee all the way down?
I am.
Good for you. Keep moving.
Wow.
We got 3 left.
Maybe I'm not going back far enough.
Last one, both sides. All right, we're gonna love those legs a little more. We're gonna come through a jump squat. So you're neutral in your stance, toes, knees, shoulders all tracking forward. We're starting at the bottom, and jumping up and through, landing in your heels. Hands are.
You froze.
Push away like you're trying to dive up and out of it.
How do you not land on your toes?
As you modify, you can come up into your toes. You want to land on your heels with these, Mary.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying, but I don't know how.
You rock your
Okay,
hip
I did
up.
it.
Last 3, 2, and 1. We're going to shake those legs. That's real good. If you finish your 15, that's awesome. If not, you just breathe. Any point you need to, you just kind of march in place and pull the heart rate back down.
Okay.
Nice deep breath. Grab water if you need it. Nice, big deep breath, fill in the lungs. We're gonna go start to stretch and pull things back down. Wide with the feet. We're gonna go side to side for that lunge. Making eye contact in front of you. Nice and steady pace and breathe. We've got 15 switches. Here's 5, 6, 7. Each side is a side. Counts as 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up nice and tall. We're going to take the breath, stretch the hands out. We're going to reach up. Pretend like you have a ball in the hands, and you're going to pull it down and bounce it on the ground and reach it back up. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, full range of motion on this one. Inhale up, exhale out and down. We got 7 more. I snuck squats in there on you guys. We won't call them that though.
Bouncing the ball's better.
Yes, gotta keep it fun. 2. Last one. All right, now we're gonna turn to the side. I want you to start with your left hand. You're gonna twist and clap the left hand to the right. So your hip is following your hand, your toe is pivoting, and then we're opening and doing the same thing on the other side. Open, close, open, close. Each side counts as 1. Here's 5. Breathe and stretch as slow as you want. 7, 8. So this is getting our back, arms engaged, our core is opening and closing as we contract across the midline of the body. Inhale and exhale, even. Last one. All right. We're going to come down into a low squat, feet are wide. Toes are going to track out to the left and right of the room. I want you to pretend like you have that ball that we talked about, and we're going to push it and pull it. Push and pull. So we've got those lunges going on again, but we've got arms circling in that movement as well. You can come up out of the squat if it's too much intensity on the legs. Push and pull across your room. 5, 4. We're going to come into the center. Pull up nice and tall. So last movement, we're going to pair the top and the reach. So I want you to take your ball, come up. We're going to bounce it down and open. Close, close. Now we're going to flow. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Open, close, open. Your speed, pop, open, close, open, close, open. 3 more, pull, open, close, open, close, open. 2 more. Find all of that love and energy that you have for the day. The last one that we do right here, I want you to reach for it, pull it in, open your heart for it, and claim it. Open, close, open, reach up, and pull it into your center. There you go, my friends. You had another amazing day. You moved your body, you moved your mind. You get to move your life now. And that's what it is every time.
Well, Tina, thank you so much for being here again. We'll look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 10 o'clock and hope lots of people join in the fun.